Well, like you said, Karen, you're rethinking what you thought of the movie. I am too. Obviously, we're getting way into detail and way in depth here, more so maybe than the average person. But we're fans, and I will say this: opinions. Everybody's got them. As soon as the movie, like I don't even think the credits were done. That person sitting next to you was talking to you what you think. Did you know him? No, total stranger, right?
Yeah.
But you guys were having a really in-depth conversation about the movie and about the DC universe and about comics in general and the superhero films in general and everything that's happening in the movie industry right now. So we're at a point now where we're in this for better or for worse. We as fans, because we love these characters. You can't, no matter what you do, you can't kill Superman. If Superman Returns with Bryan Singer and Brendan Routh didn't kill Superman, if Batman and Robin with George Clooney
Oh man.
didn't kill Superman, this won't kill Superman or Batman because it's not that bad of a movie when you think about it compared to those other train wrecks. So at least this movie is in the here and now, and hopefully things get better, and the producers, the directors, the creators, and the executives learn from it, and we move forward. If we continue with this same kind of
Formula.
then there's a problem. But I think this is run by smart people. Everybody's got input. Everybody wants to say what they have to say, including us. But I think we're going to give them a second chance, and hopefully, everything works out for the better. Not just did the guy sitting next to you have opinions, but everybody had opinions. When I walked out, everybody was talking about it. And as we left the theater, we walked outside. There was a circle of about 4 or 5 people,
Oh
4 or 5
yeah.
guys, and they were talking about it almost the same way we were. Whether it's who won, Batman, Superman, or were they happy with the way the fight went, to all the elements we've talked about in this series here, in this review that we did. So in that case, it's a lightning rod, and sometimes lightning rods are good. Not just did the guy sitting next to you have opinions, but everybody had opinions. When I walked out, everybody was talking about it. And as we left the theater, we walked outside. There was a circle of about 4 or 5 people,
Oh
4 or 5
yeah.
guys, and they were talking about it almost the same way we were. Whether it's who won, Batman, Superman, or were they happy with the way the fight went, to all the elements we've talked about in this series here, in this review that we did. So in that case, it's a lightning rod, and sometimes lightning rods are good. Lightning rods are good because they keep people's interests, and that's what sometimes you see with talk shows. It's like, man, my my cousin is going out with my sister, and he's also got a boyfriend. It's like, that drama sometimes, that mishmash sometimes works and is good for business. So we'll see. That's good that at least it gets people talking, and it gets people more interested, people like us. So controversy sometimes does create cash. Sometimes controversy does create interest. So we'll see what happens going forward, because this is definitely a controversial movie. It's definitely a lightning rod movie, and it can also, be a divisive movie. So I'm definitely interested in reading more opinions, reading more things on Twitter, reading more articles, and seeing what other people think. As more people watch it, there's a casual fan like it. There's a hardcore fan like it. What happens? I kind of would like to keep an eye on that, and that's something we'll keep an eye on ourselves and keep talking about in these shows like this and other articles that we write, because now that it's released, it's going to have its impact on the industry, and it'll be interesting to see how that develops, how it bleeds into everything else and other projects that still have yet to be made. How is it going to affect Flash? How is it going to affect Cyborg? How is it going to affect Aquaman, the Superman sequel, whenever it comes out, and the Batman solo movie, along with all the Justice League projects? How's that going to work out?
Yeah, and then you got your Green Lantern.
Suicide Squad. That we saw how Deadpool affected things almost instantaneous. That every project now was rumored to be R-rated, including this one here that was pretty much already wrapped up. So, the industry is fastly changing because it's Everybody wants to be successful, and at the end of the day, it's a business and it's a money grab. So wherever the money is, that's where these projects tend to flow. I just wish they would realize that you make a good story, you stay true to the characters, and you will make money. Lots and lots and lots of money. You get away from that, you run the risk of losing your audience.
Here's my concern now is that, a lot of parents, like I said, they're going to know that this is our dark characters. Do you think it's going to affect when they do the Justice League movies? Do you think that they're going to still have their kids watching these movies?
Yeah, definitely. And I think parents will take their kids. For example, I know that, I would take my child, because I like it. So guess what? You're going to come until you're old enough to say you don't want to come. And that's the problem, is that it's not going to affect business today or next year or the year after that. But it could affect business 3 to 5 years from now, where kids who were at the movie today would be like, I just don't like that anymore. We'll move on to something else. Whatever that something else is, we don't know. Not because these are bad stories or because this is a genre. It's just because you are telling bad stories. And somebody else is telling better stories that are linear and make sense. There's a whole slew of stories out there that have yet to be explored. All kinds of properties. We haven't had a chance because we've been so busy, Karen, but definitely want to get into animes. The anime world is full of awesome storylines. Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, Full Metal Alchemist,
Sailor Moon.
Yeah, I mean,
Tenchi
Muyo, all kinds of really cool anime. There's so many that I'm just like jammed up right now. I can't list them all.
Well, Christopher Nolan is rumored to do
the Akira, exactly. So many projects, Ninja Scroll, so many cool things. Voltron, Thundercats, the Power Ranger movie coming out, Warcraft's coming out. So these are all stories the same. They're dealing with heroes with exceptional powers and dealing with the same themes that you're dealing with here. So that's all I'm trying to say, is that 3 to 5 years from now, companies like DC Entertainment could see themselves on the outs because there's people telling better stories. So the characters you do have that are great characters, you're just not doing what you need to with them. So what'll happen then? Will we see a reboot?
Oh, please.
Exactly.
Wow.
So that's something that you and I as critics, you and I as industry analysts and as hosts and as fans will need to keep an eye on. So don't get me wrong, it's a lightning rod. It's definitely going to have its effect in this industry, and it will be, at the very least, even though this movie I'm not in love with it, it'll be fun and interesting to see how it affects the industry going forward from here.